Time's up, I done touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up just to bust.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the AFC South Band Battle Podcast. Sam had to go do her hair or some crap like that, so she can't be with us today. So I'll be your host tonight.
That is not true. By the way,
you always do this, Sam. You're like, I can't host, I gotta go, and then somebody says something.
On the way.
And you're like, chime in. I mean, be here or don't.
Fine, I won't be.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Go. We're done. Thank you. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry you were so rudely interrupting.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Speaking of introducing my guest, I'll start off with the Bold City Bandit. First off, for the Jags, got Todd Clary.
Generational talent! I am a generational talent, the talent of a generation. I've come to grace your ears with my pontifications.
And with his eyes rolled back to his head for the Titans, we got Agent Ha, Jon Ha.
It's good to be here during probably the best season and a year from hell at the same time.
And with old Mr. Potato Head behind him for the Colts, we got Harish Nookala.
Hello, my name is Potato Head Reich. We do potato head things that cost our teams wins. Hello.
All right, guys. Well, before we get into today's games, NFL news.
I don't think anything's happened this week, right?
Right.
Right?
Right. Other than news that pertain to each team, I mean,
Christian McCaffrey's in a boot on the sideline today.
Oh my God, Sam, be here or don't.
Somebody mute her.
Right. Pull a clean house on her.
I mean, I guess we could talk about this. It's not relevant to the South, but it is NFL news. So Lincoln Riley is going to USC. There are rumors that Cliff Kingsbury might be going to OU. I've also heard Tom Herman's name being thrown out there as well. So that might be something to look out for from an Arizona perspective.
Really? Cliff Kingsbury's going to go to OU, they say?
That's what I just read.
I mean, he's having a better record in NFL than he did college. So.
That's got Urban Meyer's job written all over it.
Todd's probably like, please.
Please.
I'm not making an insult towards you at all. I'm sure that's music to your ears.
No, I think Todd would actually love it.
Take them all. Take them all.
JJ Watt also tweeted out that, obviously he's going to say this. I think, go ahead and get your money on and off the field and, something about negotiating skills or something like that. So something to just monitor.
Huh.
I'll have my people look into it.
Probably talk about his brother because his brother in contract talks with the Steelers.
Who's Tom Herman?
No, did you say JJ Watt tweeted?
Oh, that I don't know.
Well, screw it. Let's jump into the game. Today's games. Since we got a rare feat on the show, we got a generational talent. We'll start off with the Jaguars against the Falcons. Todd, go ahead.
Let it off.
I don't think there's enough time. I don't think there's enough time. Our team is bad. The only thing worse than our actual talent on the field is our entire coaching staff, which is awful, and continues to throw that wide receiver screen to Chenault for no reason. And I just, it's becoming a more popular opinion than it was, say, 2 weeks ago. But, I'm waiting to see where this iconic generational talent is. I don't see it. I don't see it in the footwork. I don't see it in the progressions. I don't see it. There's glimpses of it, but glimpses aren't enough. I mean, you can have one good drive where he throws 4 or 5 good passes, and it's But
I asked Matt and Justin both this question, so I'll ask you:
Sure.
Is Urban Meyer hurting that generational talent, or
Yes.
is it just,
Urban Meyer is hurting every single aspect of the game. I'm surprised that he's not hurting concessions.
That's you're the first person to say that. Everybody else says no.
Well, everybody else is wrong. Urban Meyer's a terrible coach. And he's not even a coach. That's it. He's just a guy that wanders around the sideline and, obfuscates for
Has his arm crossed.
for 10 underlings who do his job for him and do it poorly. And it has to be one of two things. What's going on out there on the field has to be one. Let me adjust my microphone. So it has to be one of two things. Either they are simplifying the playbook because Lawrence can't handle a more expanded playbook, or they are simplifying the playbook because they are attempting to rein him in somehow. And even though I never like to give Sam credit, and I'm sure she's still listening because, she doesn't have time, but I'm sure she's still there waiting to pop in. But
she wanted me to tell you that he is hurting concessions. They got rid of the chicken thighs.
But she said it earlier, and I think that she's right, that sometimes what it looks like when Lawrence isn't looking to the sideline to find out what he's supposed to do, he does better. And I don't think I think there are too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Go ahead and cancel me. I don't give a shit. I get it. It's not fucking PC to say, but there's too many cooks spoiling the soup. The NFL is complex. The NFL offenses are complex, but they're also not complex. Sometimes it's just keep it simple, stupid. Sometimes it's instead of either bringing in two tight ends and a running back, or having an empty set. Sometimes you just need to go, these are our 11 guys, and we want our 11 guys, our best 11 guys out there, to be able to move around on the field and do the best that they can do. Instead, we're trying all these different packages and all these different things when really what they need to be able to do is shift the guys around to, I don't know how to more articulately state it, but generational talent or not, when James Robinson is not on the field, our team is awful. And it's visible. And I think the only people that it's not visible to is the coaching staff. And Robinson had a fumble today, and everybody's going to talk about it. Brett Martineau was talking about it. Dan Hicken was talking about it. Everybody who comments on Twitter is talking about it. When your running back, who is 50, 60% of your offense, fumbles the ball, you do not sit him for an entire series because you think Carlos Hyde is going to make your team better.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Carlos Hyde. So this offseason with another first-round pick, they drafted a quarterback or running back. And then they go and get Carlos Hyde, and like you said, giving him way too many carries. Is it kind of obvious that Urban Meyer doesn't like Robinson? I mean,
I don't know what the deal is there, but literally week 2 or 3, Meyer came out and said that he views Robinson as Hyde as interchangeable. And that, to me, I mean, that was enough of a statement for me to realize that Urban Meyer does not know what the fuck he's doing or what he's talking about. And no one underneath him can know what they're talking about. No one on earth can make that statement unironically and succeed in the NFL.
If you see his stats with the Jags, you would have to think if he was on a better team.
I challenge you to show me Carlos Hyde's stats on any NFL roster.
Well, I'm not talking about Carlos Hyde. I was talking about.
Well, I know you're
Robinson.
not. I know you're not. My point is that I don't. I am literally physically and mentally terrified that Robinson won't be on this team next year because I can already see it. They're destroying him just like the Jaguars organization under various coaches have destroyed other players that all they want to do is get on the field and give 110%. And then all of a sudden they're just cast aside like they're fucking nothing. It's bullshit. There's a reason why Minshew's not here anymore, And nobody talks about that shit anymore. They probably don't talk about it because, like, in games when we're down 21-3 and we're going into empty sets and going 3 and out, the fans would be fucking chanting for that shit. CJ Beathard never comes in the game. There's and that's another thing going back to Trevor Lawrence is like, okay, so he's a generational talent. That's great. Does that mean we have to go out and lose? Does that mean with 5 seconds left in the half, you run him out there to throw some kind of fucking Hail Mary as if he's had protection for more than 2.5 seconds? All you're doing is demoralizing them over and over and over and over. You're running your squad out there to run awful offensive plays consistently over and over and over again to the point where I mean, dare I say it, which is where they want to give up on you. Because, you know, millions of dollars aside and all that stuff, these guys have feelings and they have pride. And you roll them out there and make them just do ridiculous shit over and over to lose over and over. It's going to fucking get to them. I mean, I'm just a fan and it gets to me. because the coaches are not trying to make things better. They're not doing anything different. They're just running the same fucking scheme over and over and over like it's going to work. And I mean, honestly, it's so insane to me that it's almost borderline on purpose. At this point, after this game today, which has been basically, aside from the aberration of the Bills game, has been 4 or 5 games in a row where we have looked just like a college football team. A bad college football team. And a bad college football team could probably come into the NFL and win a game off a couple of these squads because some of them aren't good. And that's what you have in Jacksonville. We have 2 wins. Because we fucking backed into it by accident.
Have y'all played the Jets yet?
What's that?
Have you played the Jets yet?
Wasn't it in London? Oh no, that wasn't London.
No, that was Miami.
We haven't played.
Sorry, I thought you played him in London. Never mind, that wasn't it.
No, you can't hang that. You can't hang that shit on us yet. My point is to wrap it up because I know there's other losers here that have to talk about how bad their teams are.
No, take the time. Take it.
We have to talk about sucking too, Todd. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, give me my chance to talk about my team sucking ass. So, and I know I bring up the wide receiver screen to Chenault a lot. In college, you can come out, a Trevor Lawrence can come out at Clemson, and you run that wide receiver screen on first down to do one thing, and that is to stretch out the secondary. You do that to make them play to the sidelines. Right. You come out, you run that play, you know it's not going anywhere. You know it's not going anywhere. You know it's never going to be fruitful. It's never going to do anything. And you're just trying to stretch out the secondary so you can open up some running lanes. That shit doesn't fucking fly in the NFL. You don't have a first down to waste to now run it on second and have a 3rd and 8. That shit doesn't work in the NFL. That is college bush league bullshit. And we call that all the time. All the time. And there's like such a severe and vacuous lack of fucking talent and evaluation right now that, I mean, we tried Tim Tebow out for tight end. And we don't have a tight end. Dan Arnold, woo. I'm sorry, but when you pick up a tight end who catches 5 balls for 43 yards and you act like you've just drafted fucking Tony Gonzalez, I'm sorry. That means you suck at evaluating talent. Right. And you took Travis Etienne now, like, or Etienne. I don't want to call him Etienne. I don't know why, but Miskatine Trisket. But like Etienne, that draft pick didn't make any sense at the time, and everybody's like, well, you know, it's going to be like he's going to work with Lawrence and like they're going to have this chemistry. And then he gets hurt, so there's no real way to judge whether that was like a bonehead move or not. And I hope it's not in the long run. And I honestly think if he comes back and if he's, you know,
what was his injury?
Liz Frank. Oh, yeah, he had on his first catch. It was fucking amazing. But you know, talent evaluation is awful and terrible, and you know, our defense is bad. So if you can't if you're not going to come out and have some high-powered offense, and you're going to give up 30 points a game, every game, consistently for almost 2 seasons now, you better throw fucking touchdown passes. You better have your offensive shit together, and we don't. And there's a lack of communication. And if I'm Urban Meyer, I've fired somebody by now. I have fired somebody because I feel like I'm going to get fired. But the fact that he hasn't, and the fact that he goes into these press conferences and talks about, well, yeah, you think we'd have that together by now. It is just such a vapid lack of self-awareness and an arrogant dismissal of accountability. You are the head coach of this football team. It is your job. It is your job to put out an NFL squad that does not embarrass the city of Jacksonville every time it shows up. And I feel bad for the players. And I don't care what any other commentator or any other Jaguar fan or any other football fan has to say. I've been watching football a long time. I have watched a lot of football. I have watched a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar football. I've seen a lot of bad Jacksonville Jaguar football. There is plenty to choose from in the pantheon of shitty Jaguar teams. And this, by far, hands down, is the worst Teal squad to ever take the fucking field. After an offseason full of hype and full of money spent, this is the worst Jaguar team that has ever existed. I miss Marone. I miss Blaine Gabbert. I miss our bad teams that I at least woke up on Sunday and thought, yeah, we might fuck around and win one today. Instead, it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors and bullshit. And no answers. There's never any answers. It's never like, well, we need to get better. It's just, well, I don't know what we were doing there. Why don't you know what we were doing there? You're the fucking head coach of a professional football team. You need to know what happened there. You need to know that when you walk in here in front of these microphones to talk to all of these people in the press, they're gonna fucking ask you that question. How do you not have that information? How do you not already have a pre-planned response other than, well, yeah, we got 110% and, Jesus and, fucking blah, blah, blah. We're bringing in Kanye to we're bringing in Yeezy to help us with it. And, I'm going to go get some sweater vests and finger girls in a bar and, whatever. And we're going to figure it out. It's going to be, whatever. We'll probably just hire 25 more coaches, whatever. Khan's got money, so who cares? And we need a better practice facility, and we need fuck you. I've seen worse Jaguar teams play better. Period.
What are you gonna say, Harish?
It's kind of like you go into a presentation or you go into a job or your boss asks you a question about something that fucked up and he's going to ask and you don't have an answer.
Right. It's like half the Biden administration when they go in front of Congress and they can't tell you numbers.
Well, at the same time, like the coaching staff's talking to the press and stuff. They don't owe the press anything. Their job is just to freaking say nonsense so they can just go back to work. But on the field, there's no development. It doesn't look like. Well, I don't care what people say in the interviews because the interviews are meaningless. Those are stupid. Sure,
but at least in the meaningless interview, you could do the thing where you just say nonsense. Saying nonsense is not admitting you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Saying nonsense is, well, we really, what'd you do on that 3rd and 4? What happened there? Well, we really want to get it to our guy and we want him to win there.
Right.
And he just didn't. Instead it's just like, yeah, I don't know why we called that play.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Dude. I don't know. Like,
I think I was on the wrong page of the
playbook. Can you tell me?
We're going to look at that in the film. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, lie to me and tell me that everybody had the fucking diarrhea. Lie to me and tell me there's a fucking reason why we're so awful other than you just don't know. Right. It fucking boggles the mind. He's a generational talent. Generational! I prefer drafting punters over Russell Wilson to what is happening right now. At least then I go, I don't fucking know what the fuck's going on. But I do know what's going on is our coaches are awful, our team is not talented, and Those two things in tandem, like I said, have created the worst Jaguar team in the history of Jacksonville. And I don't care what anybody fucking says, because I don't fucking know any of you. And I hope that you all choke. I hope that you all just fucking absolutely just walk out and get hit by a bus. I don't fucking care. Fuck all of you and all of your shitty opinions. You're all fucking wrong. You're 100% wrong. And the fact that no one can say anything about fucking St. Trevor Lawrence, the Duval dandy, no one can ever be like, yeah, his footwork doesn't look great. And they're like, how fucking dare you? He's the number one pick. He's a generational talent. And we need to get him an offensive line. He doesn't have any weapons. And fucking blah, 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 blah. Peyton Manning had 28 interceptions. And it's like, dude.
That was a great Sam impression.
Calm down. I'm just saying. He has a wind-up like Byron Leftwich. Did no one fucking scout that? Did no one scout that? Did no one scout the fact that in college, he never hit anybody that wasn't 3 yards open? Did no one scout that? Did no one, I mean, like, I didn't watch the kid because fuck Clemson and everybody who likes Clemson and everybody who's ever gone to Clemson. Anybody who's ever seen a fucking Clemson highlight on SportsCenter in a fucking airport terminal. Fuck all of them, every single one of them. But someone scouted this kid and is calling him a generational talent. So get off of your own ball sack long enough to figure it the fuck out. Show me the talent. Show me something. Take your fucking headset off and throw your fucking clipboard and let him call 20 plays. Let him call a whole series by himself. Let him take the earpiece out and just go out there and draw fucking shit in the dirt if he's a generational talent. They don't do that. They send him out there down 21-3 and fucking let him hand it off and then go, I guess we'll throw a slant that everyone on fucking Earth and from space sees coming.
Who are you more upset with? Are you upset with Trevor Lawrence's production or the coaching so far this year?
Yes.
I can't figure out which one you're shifting back and forth.
Yes.
But which one do you hate more?
Turns out coaching and talent are somewhat fucking related to each other when it comes to performance. I'm sorry. I'm upset because there's a hedge around this kid. No one can say anything negative about him. No one can critique his gameplay. Because it's always someone else's fault. Don't you dare, Sam. Don't you dare, Sam.
Sam, you've got stuff to do.
You drink your hot chocolate, you have a lesson plan and a migraine. I don't want to fucking hear it.
You've got stuff to do.
I just want to say one thing.
What?
I had an idea.
Oh, God.
What's that?
So if we're down by a lot, they should have like voting things in the audience.
Sure.
We can vote on the next play. Because we could call better plays
Thanks,
than the
Sam.
coaching staff. You're welcome.
Thanks for doing that. You know what they should do when they're down by a lot? They should put their generational talent on the fucking sideline and let the backup come in. Because he's a generational talent. And you have him out there taking snaps with 3 seconds left in the half. Kneel it. Kneel the fucking ball. You're a coach. You are a coach. Coach your team. There's 3 seconds left. There is nothing to be gained by going out there and further demoralizing yourself before the half when you're going to get the ball back. Kneel the ball, go to the locker room and talk to your fucking team. Inspire them. Robinson walked off the field with 50 seconds left. Nobody's talking about it.
You guys had a chance to get back in that, though, didn't you?
Excuse me?
Didn't you guys have a chance to get back in that game?
Yes. The Falcons are awful. What do you want?
I'm just curious.
Did you guys have a chance to get back in the New England
You're
game?
like, oh, you guys are down by 30. I was like, wait, but you guys were almost in it, weren't you? Like,
yeah, it never. And see, that's the problem. That's the problem. We're one touchdown away. Okay, for like what 3 years before we went to the AFC Championship game, I heard that about Bortles. Well, when he had 2 fucking 35 touchdown wide receivers one year when we went like 2-14. Okay, woo! It's called garbage time. What do you want? It's called when teams are up going into the fourth quarter, they relax. And let's face it, Atlanta has scored 3 points over 2 weeks. They scored fucking however many they scored 21 against us today. They scored fucking 14 in the first quarter. Cordero Patterson came down from fucking heaven above and did his best Derrick Henry impression. There are fucking problems in Jacksonville that are not going to be solved by a generational talent, once in a lifetime fucking quarterback.
So then what is the solution?
The solution is to fucking burn it all down. Burn it all down to the ground. Nuke the entire stadium. Fire everyone.
Oh no.
I don't know. I mean,
he just wants to see it destroyed.
I just want to watch it burn. They have hurt me.
I want to be out of my misery.
Yes, if you gave me a doll right now, I would point to the entire doll because they have hurt me in every single possible way. And I mean, it's bad enough. I gotta have Florida players out doing Florida player bullshit on my fucking team. Taven Bryan not showing up. Juwan Taylor fucking not blocking. I gotta watch. It's just I got a Florida coach who, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if our players, you know, were like up to a bunch of illegal bullshit and murdering people, like at least we'd be good. I mean, like, why not? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do what he used to do, which is overlook everything and fucking. I'm starting to believe that none of the teams that he coached actually required any coaching, because it just turned out there were teams at the right time that had a lot of talent where they could just kind of let them go play and they would go win-win, and then you would go in. And I don't know why I'm whispering, because it's no big fucking secret. Fuck you, Sam. Be here or don't. Be here or don't. You get to witness this. Settle down. Yeah, put your Snuggie on. Anyway.
Well,
the audio version of this is going to be terrible now because of you, Sam. So I just want to let you know it's your fault.
Well, let's talk about bad press conference to epic press conference. The Colts with the most, craziest press conference in sports history with Jim Moore. Jump to the Colts. Harish, how was it? Terrible? Bad?
Hello. My name is Frank Reich. I have the best running back in football, and he doesn't touch the ball for 23 straight snaps. I have a 10-point.
He went on. Frank Reich crashed
just like
it.
the Colts' chances of making the playoffs.
Frank Reich crashed the interview.
Well,
Mr. Potato Dick.
I'll lay on Mr. Potato Head over there getting his shit together. John, what happened today, man?
Oh, God.
I thought the Titans were supposed to run away with the division. What happened?
I don't know why you're asking me these things when you know I don't say these things. You know I don't think anything's safe. We got nobody left. That's what's happened. We've lost everybody. We're completely decimated. I didn't expect to win. It was a miracle that we were in the game, like even well into the third quarter. It's a miracle that happened. We somehow managed to get 2 running backs with 100-yard games, but yet we still find ways to turn the ball over. It's very frustrating. You get a defense that suddenly decided, hey, let's go ahead. You know, the reason why we've been so successful on defense is because we have a pass rush. Then they decide that we don't know how to run these schemes because the Patriots weren't doing anything. The offensive line, they weren't doing anything different. They were just covering the guys the way that anybody's been covering our guys, and we just decided to let Mac Jones just sit back and throw. That's stupid. And we were getting torched on every time Mac Jones was finding this person. What's going on? Can you tell me why?
Because
it's because Mac Jones is a generational talent.
Yes, that's right.
That and let's be honest, the cornerbacks for Titans aren't that good.
Well, no, we don't have good cornerbacks, but the reason why we've been so good is the pass rush.
Okay, Bud Dupree's gone.
Yes,
Bud Dupree's gone. All you want, Bud Dupree did. Look what he did with T.J. Watt.
But no,
when T.J. Watt got hurt.
No, my point is that the guys that we had that have been producing, it has been producing pressure, being Danico Autry and Simmons today, they didn't got nothing. They got nothing. And the Patriots weren't doing anything different than like the Rams were doing, than like what the Saints were doing, or like what the Colts were doing, or anybody. Or the Texans. They weren't doing anything different. And they were like, well, with the Texans is a little different because Tyrod Taylor is going to shift around and move a little bit more than Mac Jones is going to do, than Matt Stafford's going to do, which is why I kind of liked our matchup against the Patriots for our defensive front. But they didn't get any pressure. They just got whooped on the defensive front, and that's all it took for them to just –
I'm telling you, it's because it's the factor of Bud Dupree. As soon as Bud Dupree was out, y'all didn't touch Tyrod Taylor not once last week. And then the same thing happened.
Yes, I'm not downplaying him being out. What I'm saying is that
same thing with TJ Watt last year.
The guys up the middle didn't do their job at all today. They didn't do their job at all today. You can get pressure on Mac Jones with with a mediocre edge rusher. You can get pressure on him, and the other guy's going to be there to meet him because Mac Jones isn't fast enough to escape. But now I lost my train of thought because you got me thinking about Bud Dupree. But either way, like they punted maybe once, the Patriots. Like Mac Jones was just slicing and dicing our defense like it's nobody's business. I don't know.
System quarterback.
Well, yeah, he's a system quarterback. I mean, what are you talking about? You talk about James Robinson. He's your best player, and then he's getting nothing. That's what I mean. This is what's happening to us. Like our best players are gone. On offense, it's great. Like we had, like the run game was working the way that I think that Todd Downing is trying to do. He doesn't want to deviate from the way we run our offense when we have a Derrick Henry, but we had a lot of production. It's just stupid turnovers. I mean, each running back had a turnover. What's that?
I said Ryan Tannehill's doing Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill always has a stupid pick a game. I mean, the Texans game, those are stupid.
He's elite picks, though. But Johnny,
he's a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback. Jon Ha, he's a top 10 quarterback.
Great.
Top 10 elite generational talent.
Guys,
great. I can't wait for that to show up. He always has a stupid pick every game.
I don't think you're giving the Patriots enough credit. I don't think you're giving Bill Belichick enough credit. I don't think you're giving the Patriots offensive line enough credit.
This Patriots team,
I don't think anyone in the NFL is.
This is
a really good team, and it's so stupid that the freaking Patriots are back to being great again. I thought they were done and finished. I wanted them gone, and I hate that they're great again. I hate the Patriots.
Let's just step back and literally fuck our own face.
I hate the Patriots. No, I hate the Patriots.
Being great.
I hate the Patriots more than anybody in the league. I hate them all. It's stupid Patriots, and I hate that they're good again.
You know, Ryan Tannehill is number one.
Well, let me know when that happens, and then I'll be.
He's number one in interceptions.
That's true. He is. He does lead interceptions, but
it's not just Derrick Henry making him good. It's not just the play action. He's an elite quarterback.
Up there.
He's a generational talent.
Sounds like a generational talent.
He is.
Like
only once in a generation, and there are 75 generational talents playing in the NFL currently. He is one of them.
I didn't expect anything good to come out of today. So the fact that we got, like, I don't know, if we were in the game, until it's stupid.
You guys do have some injury problems, although
we're decimated. We're completely decimated.
Yeah, there you go with that word again. So decimate, actually, from the Latin, refers to over 100 people being destroyed.
It feels like we're at that point.
You don't have that many people on your roster, so that's physically impossible.
It feels like we're over 100 at this point. What's the proper word then? Because I know decimate. Okay, des is like for 100. What's the right word? Is it
the right word?
Centimated.
Generational talent.
Nah.
The right word is you have some injuries.
This is true. Like I said,
physical game.
Well, as I said at the beginning, it's like it feels like we're like in the middle of like one of the best seasons we ever had, and now it's the year from hell. Like it's just the wheels have fallen off, and
this is the first time in the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
that a team has been good coming out of the gate, suffered injuries, and then their gameplay has.
I get it. This isn't unprecedented. What I'm just saying is this is what's happening.
Literally,
and
there is zero precedent. It is completely and utterly unprecedented. Like Trevor Lawrence's generational talent.
That's right.
Talking about. Go ahead. Talk.
Sorry, but you know, I'm Mr. Negatron. Like I said, positive. We actually did have some run game, like a really good run game, 2 running backs over 100 yards. And if we can maybe try to build that, we just need 3 wins. The good thing is the Colts lost, so we can transition to that. So that helps. I just want to get to the playoffs, and I don't want the Colts in the playoffs because we'll lose to the Colts in the playoffs. So I want you guys out, and I just want to get in, and then I can shut up for the rest of the year.
Well,
that's all I want in life.
You might lose to Frank Reich, but you will never lose to Potato Head.
That's right.
I love the fucking Titans math where it's like we just need 3 wins
just
so
need
that we
3.
can lose in the playoffs and get out of there like we do every year.
That's
Until we lose. Yeah.
I just need 3 wins. Keep the Colts out of it. We're gonna give somebody a free win on wild card weekend, and then we're gonna get back to fucking sucking Derrick Henry's balls.
I need to go Todd on the Titans fans for a minute. Stop acting like Derrick Henry is going to come back and save the day. It's not going to happen. Even if he comes back, he's not going to be really good. It's just too much to come back from. And even if he does come back, the worst case scenario is they're going to break his foot off and then he's done forever. Derrick Henry's not coming back this year. Just accept it. Stop holding out hope that he's coming back. Just try to maybe scrap together something of a successful season to win the division. That's all we need. Stop talking about how he's going to come back and then we're going to burn through the playoffs. He's not coming back. It's done. He's done until next year. I hope I'm wrong, but stop it.
You got to work on Julio Jones is done until next year too.
I see
Julio's not coming back either.
I see you're trying to channel me, John, and I gotta say,
I'm yelling at my Titans fans.
The homage is felt. It's deeply heartfelt.
Yeah.
You gotta get a little bit more angry. I know it's not kind of the thing that whites do out there in Utah, but like you gotta really.
This is an 11 for us. I'm at an 11.
Like imagine someone used the wrong fork on their salad.
So you gotta put your hands in the air, and you gotta go generational.
Right?
Give up on Derrick Henry for 2021.
That's the pun that I came up with earlier.
Derrick Henry is
irrational talent.
His year is done. Julio probably done. AJ Brown probably done for the year. This is just let's just
Julio
shut up.
Jones is calling it a career.
Right.
10 minutes off season, I guarantee.
Right. Let's Titans fan. Let's just shut up and just let the year play out and then just go off and then hope maybe we build a better team next year because we have just been really, really hurt by bad luck and it sucks. So just be quiet. It's over.
You got to stretch. It's really important to stretch.
Well, going from the second best running back in the league, let's go to the first best running back in the league. Let's try this again, Harish. What happened today?
Wait, we have the best running back in the league?
I mean, maybe not in Frank Reich's eyes, but in everybody else's eyes.
My bad. I wouldn't know because we don't ever fucking use him.
He's so good, you only have to use him for the first half.
Maybe.
It's load management.
Listen, hold on a second. I don't care about the 23 RPOs in a row that we ran. I don't care that the Bucks put 5 down linemen. I don't care that they were stacking the box. I don't give a rat's ass. The dude, our best player, didn't touch the football in any capacity for 2 quarters. You're telling me that Frank Reich, offensive genius, can draw up plays, couldn't find any way to get the ball in Jonathan Taylor's hand for 2 quarters. You're up 10. You're driving down the field. Even on that drive that we drove down the field before Carson Wentz got blown up by Eric Fisher, who I'm so sick and tired of watching because he's a complete eyesore at this point, who got blown up and then got the fumble. That entire drive, Jonathan Taylor didn't even sniff the ball. He wasn't even in the game. Like, that's my thing. Not only did we got so bad, it was almost like Urban Meyer out there. He's like, hey, come on out. Go sit on the sideline. Whoa. He sat on the sideline for like 10 straight plays. Like, I just don't.
That's how dare you? That's our guy. No one can be as bad as Urban Meyer. He's a generational talent.
This is 3 games that we have blown double-digit leads in. Titans, the Ravens, and now the Bucks. In every single game, we stop giving the ball to our best player. And I just don't get it. Look, Frank Reich has the record he has against playoff teams because he doesn't stick to what works. He wants to be fancy. He wants to prove a point. He wants to prove that Carson Wentz can win games. Well, guess what? Carson Wentz can win games when you allow him to win games. Stop putting your quarterback in bad situations. Stop putting your offensive line in situations they can't handle and playing to their weakness. Instead, why don't you actually try calling some plays that actually work that got you ahead 17-7 in the first place. I don't know. Potato Head Reich is irritating. It's frustrating to watch. I get the turnovers. There were some horrible turnovers in the second half. 4 turnovers in the second half. The fumble, the interception, the punt return, the fumble and the punt return by Hines was absolutely backbreaking. And then, of course, the one at the end by Wentz, which is, air it up, Hail Mary, whatever. You try to do what you can do. Yeah, sure. I guess we can blame the 4 turnovers. We can blame the defensive pass interference that occurred. Sure, I get that. But when you do not when you refuse to give the ball to your best player, who literally just came off of a 5 touchdown game, I don't know what people are complaining about. I don't care what article is written. I don't care what the experts say. I give 2 rats ass and a fuck about it because it's just absolutely ridiculous that Jonathan Taylor literally didn't see the ball for 20 straight plays. But they finally, in the fourth quarter, he averages 11 and a half yards a carry on that drive. And wait, hold on a second. They scored a touchdown. Surprising, shocking, unreal coaching performance by Potato Head Reich. It's just absolutely disgusting. I'm kind of sick and tired of seeing it. And if we don't make the playoffs, I think Wright needs to be on the hot seat. I think Eberflus needs to be on the hot seat. I'm so tired of losing with this roster. It's ridiculous. We just go away from doing things that work. And I just don't get it. Don't get it.
Do you want to try losing with a different roster?
You know what? I would rather, I don't know what's more frustrating.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it might as well be the same roster because we only use about 10% of our roster. And not the good 10% either. Yeah.
Tell me how it makes you feel.
Yeah, I really feel that way.
Tell me how it makes you feel inside.
Before we,
the bright side is that sounds like an easy fix, though, Harish. You just plug in Jonathan Taylor. Problem solved.
No, you got Frank Reich as head coach. So it's not
No. Problem's not solved because next week Jonathan Taylor will have 150 yards on 15 carries and 3 touchdowns, and then 2 weeks from now against the Raiders team that can't stop shit, he's going to give him like 8 carries. So no, problem's not solved. I'm not convinced that Frank Reich is going to go away from the way he plays calls. Not convinced whatsoever. And you know what? We probably shouldn't lose another game this year. I can imagine us losing at least 1 or 2 more at this point because Frank Reich is going to make it happen. Potato Head Reich is going to make this happen. We are going to lose at least 2 more games this year. We shouldn't lose another game. Shouldn't have lost today, but he's going to make sure that we lose 2 more because he's going to do something stupid in a game that he shouldn't be doing. Things will work for a good quarter and a half, and he'll third quarter be like, you know what, screw what we did this whole time, and he'll just go do something completely different.
So what happened to y'all's defense? Weren't y'all like good 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, we were great 20 minutes ago. Oh, speaking of defense, oh Jesus Christ, we have no pass rush. It does not exist. Kwity Paye got to Brady a couple times today. DeForest Buckner was okay. He got hurt and came back.
Heard he's a generational talent.
We have nobody else. We have Kwity Paye, we have DeForest Buckner, and we're still trying to figure out who our other outside edge rushers, which is nobody right now. Matt Eberflus' defense is absolutely frustrating. The stupid cover 2 zone defense that we play is mind-bogglingly terrible. Right, we have the players, but we're in the wrong scheme. We don't have edge rushers to be playing a Tampa 2, cover 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't really care what you call it. You don't have the edge rushers to run it. So I'm not sure why we're still running this defense. Eberflus has been heralded as his head coaching candidate. I don't know why. To be honest, the defense wasn't very good last year. They just took advantage of some poor offenses that they played. We lead the league in turnovers, which is great, but everybody's going to drive for like 7 million yards a game. So I don't know what's worse. It really feels like the Titans' defense of last year. Well, they'll get a lot of turnovers, but they still give up a lot of yards
and points.
Punts. Give up all the punts. Yeah.
What do you have left on your schedule?
Who cares?
I do.
Texans,
Arizona.
Okay.
Jags,
Okay. You're good.
Raiders,
Arizona.
You're okay.
Arizona, and
New
Arizona without Kyler Murray. We don't know. Maybe.
You come back next week.
I think you guys are in good shape to make playoffs.
Oh, cool. I think we're in great shape if Frank Reich is coaching. But if Potato Head comes, you never know.
You got two.
You never know. You never know. You never know what you get with Potato Head Reich.
You got two.
Hey,
pretty tough
can I just
games
can I take a break in
Arizona
the
and
action to ask Matt what the fuck happened against the Jets today? Because y'all lost, and Jets aren't very good.
Well, I was about to say it.
I mean, neither are Texans. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. But
I can tell you,
Briggs.
same thing with Urban Meyer and Frank Reich. We got a shit OC and Tim Kelly. First half, you jump ahead and you're winning, and then second half, you want to go conservative and forget what you're doing. Like, Biden as president, just sit to bed. I don't get it. I really don't. Like you said, the Jets suck. We should have won that game. We had two double digits lead, and we dropped the ball. We texted it, but I'm okay with
They
it.
call it a fumble.
Oh, you're right.
When you drop the ball.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. We fumbled it. Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
We fumbled it.
We fumbled it. But we get a higher draft pick, so I'm okay with it. Derek Stingley, he
Small
returned.
victories.
I know how it feels to be a Jaguars fan.
No, you don't. You cannot fathom the depths.
It's just it's frustrating, like you, Todd, because the defense didn't do a bad job.
You chose to lose. I was born in it.
I'm Before
I thought my first win, I was already a man.
But the defense played really good today, but our offense couldn't stay on the field. Kept going 3 and out. I don't know why we were still trying to utilize David Johnson. He sucks. Move on. He's not the Cardinals David Johnson he once was. Let's see Scotty Phillips or another running back. Rex Burkhead's run the ball pretty good for being an old 99 white guy, So why not give him the ball more? It makes no sense. I'm ready for Tim Kelly. The only reason why Tim Kelly had a job because Watson wanted him there. Well, Watson's not going to be there next year, so it's time to cut ties and move on.
Don't forget,
Cool.
don't forget that your team doesn't have any talent.
Oh, yeah, we don't have that generational talent like, the Jaguars do.
Any minute
Oh, no,
now.
but you don't have any talent.
Yeah,
They
I was
at
about to
least
say,
have the generational talent.
We got Brandon Cooks.
We're not talking about a generation. We're talking about a fucking intermission. Y'all don't have intermission talent. Y'all don't have.
We got some guy. Brandon Cooks is having a good year, and so is Gennard. Gennard is top 8 in sacks, so pretty good.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
top 8 in sacks.
Hey.
He loves
That's generational talent type level right
generational sacks.
there. Generational.
My sack is generational.
Well, moving on from Todd's generational sack,
Inseminational talents. What?
let's move on to next week. Todd, who y'all play next week?
The winner.
The winner?
Play the Rams.
Oh
So-
yeah, the winner.
So yeah, we'll win that game 10-7 because we shouldn't even be in the same stadium. We play the Falcons. Like, this is what we do: is we give the worst teams in the NFL. We're like the Make-A-Wish Foundation for the worst teams in the NFL to get their get right game, where it's like, yeah, we're really a struggling team comes into TIAA Field and it's gonna be a blah blah blah. 2 teams searching for a win, and then like the team that's awful just like takes a giant points and statistics penis and just like rams it into us repeatedly until it like ejaculates a W. And then the next week when we're like, yeah, we're gonna try and go out there and like not lose by 40. That's when the defense shows up and somehow we win 10-7. So We're going to
call it
lose
10-7?
45-10.
45-10.
I'm being nice and I'm saying 10. But also, I am aware that when I make predictions, bold predictions, they tend to go the opposite way. So the Rams are going to win 375-4.
Be a big win for you guys next week.
Yeah, we're gonna get 2 safeties.
All right. Well, John, who y'all got next week?
We have a bye, and we're going to end up signing and cutting 400 players and announce 600 players go on IR.
And then
I'm going through my fantasy app trying to find out 35-year-old running backs that haven't been on a roster in 6 months. You'll probably sign 3 of those and then try 2 of them out, put one on the practice squad, and then start one, and he'll get.
What's going to happen is they're going to double down on Hillard and Foreman because they both had a good game today, and then they're both going to come up empty against the Jaguars in week 13. That's what
they're going to run into each other and hurt and sprain their MCLs on the same play.
And
the night before week
double end around.
The night before our
knock
game.
knees on
the night before when there's no practice. When there's no practice.
Yep.
And then your star receiver retires on the bye week.
Whoa.
This is what's going to happen. We're going to make 1,000 roster moves and announce 1,000 people get put on IR.
He's going to make. Expect that for the next 2 weeks. 5 minutes into the offseason.
As soon as we hang up, as soon as we end this episode, he retires.
Yeah. I'm saying he's going to finish out the season because why not, right? I mean,
no, they're going to say. Here's what they're going to say. They're going to say the Titans have elevated Julio Jones off the injured reserve list, and then about 5 minutes later, we're going to see a note, kind of like how Calvin Ridley said, "I've decided to step away for my mental health," and that's what's going to happen.
I want to go spend more time with my family. Mm-hmm. After that, I'll be returning to be the Titans wide receiver coach.
That's right.
Well, I'm so excited for my new opportunity.
Urban Meyer's extensive coaching crew. I'm going to be the assistant to the regional clipboard fucking sanitizer manager. It's an integral role.
It's going to be an exciting week.
Harish, you got the Colts at Houston. Me and you both are going to be at the game. What's your predictions?
I predict
Frank Reich going to be Ted.
That Frank Reich will show up for 3 quarters, and the Potato Head Reich will be here in the 4th quarter to try to give you the game away. Frank Reich will play for 3 quarters next week, and the Potato Head will come in, make his appearance, and try to give the game away next week. Colts beat Texans 28-25.
Oh wow, you're a lot nicer than I am. I'm going to say 35-10. Colts.
All 25 of those points will be scored with 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter as well.
Because Matty Rufus is just as potato headed.
It'll be 28-3 with 5
Don't leave the game early, guys. Don't leave the game early.
Don't leave the game early. Hold on now. This is Potato Head here. Just stay in the seats
left here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh no, we're in Houston next week. What is this? NRG
What is it?
Whatever. It's whatever fucking shithole dump one of you fucking teams plays in.
Hey, whoa.
I said it. I'll say it again. Did I stutter?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't think I did.
Are you a generational talented stutterer?
Fuck yeah. I'm a generational talent motherfucker behind this goddamn microphone. Ain't nobody fuck around like me.
Well, like I said earlier, me and Harish going to be at the game, so we're going to do some tailgating, so anybody interested, contact one of us. Have some good time. With that being said,
we need to plan that out, by the way, this week.
Yeah, we do. With that being said, we just launched our new network, the Fan Battle Sports Network. So if you are interested in starting a podcast or have a podcast and you want a new network, please contact either one of us, Samantha Ornette, Justin Gonzalez, or just email us at fanbattlesports@gmail.com. Todd, tell us where we can find you at, bub.
Huddled up in the corner, crying and repeating the phrase "generational talent, generational talent, generational talent."
Is it with your Harry Carey voice Twitter. Or not Harry Carey voice?
Hi.
Hey, everybody. If I told you I was a generational talent, would you draft me and then improperly use me? I would.
Made out of cheese.
It's fucking. Hey, if I was a barbecue rib, would you eat me? I would. Wash it down with a frosty cold Budweiser.
Where can we find you on Twitter, there, Todd?
Oh, at Bold City Bandit.
At Bold City Bandit. Jon Ha is in Utah, and he doesn't believe in social media, so you can't find him. Harish.
It's banned by the Mormon Church.
Tell us where we find you at Potato Head Reich.
You can find me at the Uncle Gandhi with
Hey, perfect.
You can find him firing his IT guy, which is very ironic, and I'll just let.
He's going to fire himself.
I'll let the audience figure that out.
I'll answer for him. You can find him at the Uncle Gandhi.
Thank you.
On Twitter. Yeah, you're welcome.
About you?
Can we screenshot this picture of him because it looks so delightfully delirious, like he just woke up, or like he just finished smoking the blunt and DoorDash just showed up and
just make that our background.
You know, like my Taco Bell's here.
Sam photoshopped that onto him, Mr. Potato Head.
I don't see him anymore.
You don't see it? That's perfect.
Screenshot and send it to me.
You can find me at Cancel Tim Kelly on Twitter, and you can find us at AFC SFB. Glad I didn't murder it like Sam always does.
That stands for AFC South Fan Battle, for those wondering.
Well, I mean, they're listening to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast, so I mean,
we're dealing with
the intelligence of our viewers.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because a lot of them live in Tennessee. So, with that being said, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As usual, go fuck yourselves!
Bye.